Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're jumping back to some more StoneBlock 3. Of course, getting some applied logistics automated, tinning some chickens, and just having some fun. So I hope you guys are ready. Today, things are gonna get a little bit fried up in here as we dive into some more chickens. So I need to get some resources on tap, and at the moment, I'm basically running out of like regular materials such as iron and gold and things like that. So I have it planned to get as many chickens in here as possible. As you can see, I've already added some more roosts. Oh, there's a lot of work ahead of me though, because I need to hook up transporter pipes to every single one of these. And well, at the moment, I just don't know how this is going to cut it. If this is going to cut it fully, laser IO may be the way to go. But I would also love to start tinning some of our chickens. Let me explain how that works. So down here, I have a breeder in the floor, and to get tinned chickens, we can take a look right here. You can see it's growth 1, 1, and 1. So we have growth 1, gain 1, and strength 1. This is what we're tinning. So when you hear me say that, that is what I'm referring to. Now, to do this, it's basically just a process of going back and forth. So if I accelerate this here, and this was created, this chicken that we just created is now a 3, 2, 2. And then the next one that was generated, I probably want to take these two now, and I want to breed these together to slowly but surely increase the total growth. I like to get 2 of them on that tier, and then go from there. So this is a 3, 3, 3 with a 4, 4, 4. So it should give us a mix, and this is a 4, 4, 4. And there is another high tier. So long as we keep track of the chickens that are going in, we should be able to get to 10 fairly quickly, especially since we have like several hours worth of time stored away here. So on the priority chickens, such as like the metal, I definitely want to make sure these get to their max. And then once we have them maxed, we can take 2 10 chickens and just breed a bunch of 10 chickens. You guys are going to be tired of me saying 10 by the end of this video. So and just like that, I have my first set of 10 golden chickens, and these are just going to produce, as you can see right here, a bunch more. And what I need is a total of 16 per, and like for the metal, just like this, I think 16 is going to be perfect. So just having a single set, that should produce a ton of nuggets. Yeah, these do produce nuggets, by the way, so we will have to have a way of, you know, working those out, but we'll get to that. Now, while that's doing its thing, I think it's probably time that I just go ahead and break all of these pipes. I know it just spills items everywhere, but I've got to go through the back here, and with my configurator, basically I'm going to be hooking up the bottom row, and then I'll go ahead with another row, and all of these have to be set. They have to be double tapped. Let's see, these are the advanced logistical. This needs to be put into item mode, and then I have to click this twice on every connector. Yep, it's gonna take some time. So I got all of it hooked up and realized that the 10 chickens are incredibly fast. Yeah, they are really, they're zooming. So I have these pipes for now. Of course, these are going to be upgraded soon, but the way I am dealing with this, of course, we wouldn't be able to handle it, I don't think, without laser IO. The way I am currently dealing with it is, well, compacting drawers. So I did go ahead and set up a compacting drawer, thank goodness. And while we already have what, 200 and so on, yeah, gold, which is quite insane because it's only been literally there for like a minute or two. I did realize if you do pick up the chicken with a chicken stick, it does change its tag and they no longer stack. So do not do that. But this fella is so cute and adorable. There we go. All right, I feel a lot better now. I did just notice something when I initially set up chickens. This was actually it was not a bone meal chicken. It was a bone white chicken. And apparently got changed to bone meal chicken, which is really nice because now instead of giving you the dye, it actually gives you a usable item, bone meal. Ooh, this could have its uses later on potentially with some farms. I don't know. We'll see. basically, I need to go back through and see, was there any chickens that were added? I don't think so, other than that one being changed. But for right now, I do need to go through and, for example, like the tin chicken and the osmium chicken. We also have a copper chicken. All of these kinds of chickens I need to get and try my best to tin them, because these are going to be very helpful moving forward with all of our modded endeavors. Now, if you're like me and you have some chickens that you only have one of, I think the best thing to do is just combine the two chickens here. And even though they don't have a recipe, they should breed randomly, either one or the other. So we should also get a copper chicken potentially. It's not 100%, but there we go. Now we have two of those. And for example, we only have one of each of the different metal types. So yeah, that's the best way to get started with the sort of duplication section of it. And as you can see, I do have 3 breeders now down here. There's another osmium, and we should get a silver. It's not 100% to get it like that, but it is kind of awesome that we are getting them in that way. And then we just need to, yeah, sort of combine them and get them all started. So I'm almost done with tinning all of our like regular materials. So I think this is just about it. Oh, I did it again. I keep trying to right click this. Now the problem is, yep, I have to put these back in to get all 16. And I might as well just pop this chicken because, well, yeah, there's a problem with it stacking once you re-chickenify it, once you re-itemify it. But thankfully we can get another chicken super quick. So yes, I have to open this first, then place it in. And then we get all of our chickens in here. Now, you're going to notice this is going to start filling up really fast. Yeah. So what I've been doing is I've just been putting everything over here into the storage drawers. And that seems to be working pretty good. So, like for example, osmium, pop that in. That's going to, you know, drain up all of that. The zinc, I really don't know how much we're going to use that. And then we have nickel. I'm going to put that there. And then we have silver, and I think that is the last of it. And I need to go through the chickens and figure out, is there any more that I need? So with chickens done, one of my biggest setbacks, I think so far, one of my biggest bottlenecks is smelting things. And well, we actually have a ton of tools to help us with that one process. However, I think one of them surpasses all, and that is iron furnaces for this job. And well, we are probably going to finally start working on automating, you know, like processes such as that, and not just crafting recipes. So let's get into the iron furnace mod and see what it can do. Now, getting started with this mod, we basically start out with a base furnace, of course. I'm going to go ahead and get some more blank patterns crafted up if I can. Oh, we have 10 just right here. All right, so let's get a few more of those up and running. While we're waiting for those, there we go. Actually, it was a lot quicker than I thought. Dive back into the iron. So like I said, we start off with a regular furnace, and there's a recipe for that. And then we move up to iron, right? So iron, and then it goes up to gold from iron. Pretty simple. Then to diamond. Then we go to emerald. And by doing this, the furnace gets faster and faster the higher tier you take this up to. So for example, obsidian is going to be the next tier in this process. Or you could go crystal furnace, which is kind of a see-through furnace. Not exactly the biggest, my favorite furnace in the world, but it is kind of cool looking, I guess. And then we have the netherite furnace. I'm pretty excited about getting into the netherite furnace, but the best one, I think, is the rainbow furnace. It is quite nice what you can do with this. Now, you do get 8 plating if you make every single one of them, including the crystal furnace, the silver furnace, and the copper furnace. So, you get 8 of these plating. You surround that, as you can see here, from a rainbow core, which is 2 netherite furnaces. And then it just requires you to have the dyed glass. I want to make this thing. So I do need to still get a recipe in for this and the silver, just like that. And also one of these, I think I have Eyes of Ender auto-crafted. If not, that's fine. We can set that up later, but I think this is all ready to go. I just need to add this recipe and then we're almost golden. Let's see. We'll also add Actually, we'll do this manually, but we need to get this going. Oh man. All right, so let's get a couple of furnaces placed in here. By the way, there is a screen that allows you to place these in. We're going to get into that later on once we kind of start to finalize our build here. And that's going to start taking place once we get this up. So as soon as we have like a way to process our stuff, this is going to be a lot easier. So there we go. All of that is set into place. Now we need to craft 8 of them, right? So that is going to get started. And this is probably going to be pretty quick. It does. Yeah, there it goes. It's already done. I mean, I blinked. And the reason I have all this is because if you take a look at gold, because of our chickens, we have all of these raw materials now. And so I don't really have to think too much about, do I have diamonds? Do I have emeralds? Because I 10 diamonds, I 10 emeralds, I 10 the netherite, did the same for iron, gold, silver, copper. So we have all those materials. And if we run out, it's going to refill incredibly quickly. So here's the final thing. I need to make all of the different stained glass types. Also not going to be incredibly difficult because prior to this, we had already done all of our dyes. So we do have about a stack of dyes just laying around for everything. Oh, this is fantastic. And I believe this thing can cook a stack of items at a time. So right here, we need 2 of those. So I can actually control click here and I can start the crafting of the 2 netherite furnaces. And there they are. And last but not least, there's the core. And we can go ahead and dump all of these and we can make the rainbow furnace. Awesome. So to test out the rainbow furnace, let's grab some coal. For right now, we'll use coal, but there is a better thing that we could use. And let's, I don't know, cobble. I think that's the best thing to test out. Let's place cobble in here. An entire stack. That is how quick this is. And this is without speed upgrades because there are augments we can put in here that also help with efficiency and speed. Notice we did 2 stacks though, and it only used 1 coal. So this is incredibly efficient on coal as well without even using augments. And we can make it even better by making a factory upgrade. Now the factory upgrade, you're about to see how ridiculous things can actually get. We just need some paper, a factory upgrade, factory augment, put that in here, and yes, it is a little bit nutty, but it does require power. So that is a thing that we kind of have to deal with. Now, how do I go about automating this? Well, it's actually kind of simple. All we need is our rainbow furnace for right now, and this is a very temporary setup, but I'm going to just use this to show you. We can take a ME pattern provider, right? And we also need some cables to give to this, and that's really it. Now the pattern provider can be turned into a smaller little device that can go on the top. And let's go ahead and hook our cable in just like that. And the cool part about this is once we, have a factory upgrade in it, we can give it some power. So let's go ahead and put the factory in there and a point. I think I have a point laying around, and we can just put the point on the back for right now. Actually, don't know how that's going to affect this, but I'm going to put a point. All of our networking is going to be sent to this eventually. So that's filling up. That's doing its thing. We'll set that to auto split. Now up here, we need to make sure that this is going to send the items to it. And also we can put the items back into this. Now, this only really works with machines that allow you to auto input and output through the same side. So I'm going to clear all of these by holding shift, and that will reset all. And then up at the top, I want this to be input and output together. So effectively it's going to input and output. And by the way, if your it's not JEI, but if your menu here or overlay is in the way, you can hit control O to remove it. That way you can handle your input and outputs a little bit easier. So you can turn these on and off, and that's going to be a little bit nicer. You can close that up and then control and O to get your REI back. That's right, because this is REI. All right, so let's make a pattern that this can use. So what do I need to smelt all the time? Let's go ahead and do clay into bricks. So clay smelts into bricks. So whenever we go ahead and set that craft, it should set up and automatically switch to the encoding for it. Looks like it's not for whatever reason. Like here I am trying to get this to work. All right. Maybe if we select this and then hit encode pattern, maybe not. Maybe it does with JEI. It's just for some reason not doing it with here, with this. Primary processing result. So we're going to need a clay, or we're going to need a brick. It should have worked in that right. But all I got to do is put a clay ball here, put the primary output here, and make sure it is in the processing mode, which is this right here. There's also a smithing mode and a stonecutter mode, which is all new, which is kind of cool. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that pattern is processed. And then we just put the pattern in here. And anytime we need bricks, right? And by the way, if there are items in here, you can middle mouse button. You just click your middle mouse button. Let's say we want to do, I don't know, 200. Hit next, start. And you can see all of the items ended up going in here. And they're all being processed and immediately being spit back into our AE system. Ah, very nice rainbow furnace. Well, now that that's up, let's get some use case started. Now, one of the things that definitely need automated and set up is this, the reactor. We set this up, and basically the uranite that we need for this, well, it needs to be automated and processed. And so this is going to be the perfect example for why I have this all set up. So down here, down underneath is where I'm going to place an exporter. So we actually need to get an exporter auto-crafted and get all the recipes set up for AE. Yeah, it's going to be exporting out of the system and into this over here. And in the same right, we also want to make sure that it can auto-craft uranite at a moment's notice. And we can set it up so that way, if it runs out and we have none in the system, it can request an auto-craft on its own to happen. And we are going to have to set up a recipe for this, because this is the uranite right here. The raw uranite needs to be smelted, and it will get smelted down here into this. So it'll get booped like that, and it should go 1 to 1. So this is actually another very simple autocraft to get set up for that uranite. And of course, it'll be 1 to 1. So uranite, let's see. Did it do the raw here? We need this. Okay. So yes, 1 to 1, just like that. Craft a pattern, and bam, there we go. We have another thing ready to process. So I think it's about time to start expanding our controllers here. I'm about to make some more flukes crystals, but until that point, yeah, I've got to sort of tear this down and kind of configure it in a way that will give me more channels. Now I won't have to worry about that block anymore. But how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it like vertically, or we only have 5 for right now. So I think vertical is probably going to be the best way to go. And, this actually allows me to place some blocks underground. So if we do it vertically like this, you can actually extend it all the way down here, just like that, and no problems at all. The thing that I want to make sure of, though, is that right down here, we get ourselves a point to be able to power this thing, because it is going to need power. There we go. So I do have one more available. We'll save that for later. And this is going to allow me to hook this up. So as of right now, I have our cables running right here, and I want to actually run these underneath this main floor level. And this is what's going to supply things like auto crafts of other types. So for example, mechanism and things like that we're going to need to really just supply some of the things to auto craft the materials for applied energistics. So it is going to definitely come in handy. Looks like right here, I also need to make sure we have a line run to. But yeah, the main hookup is going to be over here. Yep, and I do have this connected up to the top. I just don't have an exporter yet. So with all of this rearranged, I think it's time to kind of get some, decorating done. So I do have a mason's workbench, and this is going to be what I use to convert blocks of quartz into something a little bit more usable. And I do think there's connected textures within this mod. That's gonna be pretty awesome. So invalid quartz block. Let's see, 2 of these, are they connected? Yes. Oh, this is gonna be great. I love how I called this invalid. What is wrong with me? Inlaid quartz blocks. Ah, yes. This is gonna go all in the floor, and as far as quartz goes, we should have plenty of it, and it constantly recharges, so I can actually use it as a building block for once. Just a boop here, and a boop there, and a boop there, boop. Yep. Getting it all done. So after a little bit of wall treatment, I think this has turned out pretty good. I went with the purple to match kind of the purple theme that Applied Logistics has going on with it. I don't know, it looks kind of cool from above, like definitely, and definitely sticks out like a sore thumb compared to everything else in here. But that was the point. That's the point of this whole build. Let's pop down here real quick because there's still a few things left that I want to do. I need to get automation set up for more AE stuff. So we definitely need an exporter. So an export bus needs to be added to my to craft list. And soon we are going to get all of our crafting set up. So we are going to have one of these in every single spot that is set up here. So that's going to be a future video because we have to talk a little bit about how channels work. And yeah, it's not super hard, but it definitely needs some explaining. I have my ME export bus. All I have to do is slap that right here. And then I need my cable to connect into it. Now, at the moment, I'm not telling it to export anything anything into this. But what would be nice is to tell it to input coal, redstone blocks, and well, not blue ice, because I have blue ice automated here. May have forgot to show that, but this is now turning regular ice into blue ice in a compacting drawer, and then I am just sending it from there into here with laser IO. But for this, the main thing I want to do is have uranite crafted and request crafted. So let's take a look at the uranite that we currently have. So we have all of this stored in here. At the moment, we have a crafting recipe. And let's see, how much do we have stored? 491. And as you can see in here, we only have 30. So what I can do is I can put a crafting card in here and then make this what it sends to here. And as you can see here in a second, it should, unless my smelter is broken for me moving it, it should request more of it, which I believe down here is probably broken. Let's check our furnace. So this should be sending it to here. As you can see, it is broken, I think, because we need to make sure, yeah, it reset the config. We need to make sure these are both input and output. And there we go. And need to make sure it goes back inside there. I might have to cancel the crafting recipe. I can do that by going here. And now it's going to do one, and for some reason, it's not wanting to... Oh, we need to make sure this is auto on and off. There we go. So now it's working. So if you move that, keep in mind that does change. And so yeah, it's requesting one at a time and doing a request, as you can see up here, over and over again until this is full. And that's exactly what I want. This is perfect. So this is a way to maintain items that need to be crafted with Applied Energistics. And of course, you can do all of this stuff with refined storage as well. So don't feel like me using Applied Energistics stops you in any way from using refined storage. Like if you like to follow along, because the majority of the automation stuff is 100% possible with refined storage. Just the crafters are different and the way you craft things is a little bit different. Well, guys, the automation chamber has started, and my goodness, is there's going to be a lot of automation happening in this. Now, of course, I don't like to just automate. I like to decorate as well, and I feel like this room is far from done. I almost feel like it may be limiting to limit myself with how I have placed these things, but there's still more space underground, and the possibility of going lower or completely moving this whole network is very possible. Very, very possible. As you can see, by the way, I'm using illumination panels to light this up right here. I love them. I don't think I've ever used illumination panels. But yes, today, I think we got a ton done. Let me know down in the comments below if you're enjoying these videos. Of course, let me know if there's anything you would like to see in this this mod pack, something interesting you'd like to see. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below, and I always take feedback very, very seriously, so I would appreciate it. And guys, of course, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure to also join the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, and join me over there. Also, it's getting close to the holiday times, so if you would like to check out my merch site, all you gotta do is go to chosenarchitect.store and check out my merch there. There's also a merch shelf if you are on mobile or desktop that shows up at the bottom of the video as well. Be sure to check that out. Some cool stuff there that I absolutely love. And guys, I will see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.